friends. Well, apparently, October 14th was National I Love You Day. And I completely missed it. That's typical, though. I'm not even sure what day of the week it is half of the time. But when I heard the DJs talking about it on the radio the next morning, it got me to thinking, maybe we don't all use I love you in the same way. Anyway, if you're new here, welcome. And if you've been here before, welcome back to Rambling to Retirement, where I chat about life, family, and whatever weirdly random thoughts hit me on my morning drive. So let's talk about this I love you thing. I'm not unfamiliar with special days. At work, one of our committees highlights 4 special days of the month every month. And half the time I find myself reading the email and shaking my head in wonder. I mean, whose bright idea was this anyway? Some random person woke up one morning and said, I think every day of the week needs to have something significant tied to it, other than just surviving, that is. And at this point, I'm convinced there's a national day for everything. National I forgot why I walked in here day. National don't ask me for what's dinner day. Or national I'm fine, but clearly not day. Anyway, moving on. The DJs were sharing their thoughts on I Love You Day. And it piqued my interest, and I found myself listening a little more attentively than usual, because it turns out not everyone feels the same way about those 3 little words. Some people on the show were saying, oh, I only say I love you when I really mean it. Good answer. Another said, oh, I say it to my friends, my family, my dog, the Starbucks barista, bring it on, anyone. And one said, she never says it. I'm still trying to wrap my head around that one. But it got me to thinking, I mean, who would have guessed people felt so passionately about this? I mean, I say I love you all the time. When I talk to my kids, my daughter-in-law, my grandsons, my aunt, it's kind of how we end conversations. Okay, talk to you later, love you. Text message, love you, heart emoji. Driving to or from a loved one, love you, drive safe, call me when you get home, call me when you get there. I mean, it's just how we are. It's not forced. It's not habit. Well, okay, maybe a tiny bit habit, but it's a genuine one. I mean it every single time. But hearing that radio conversation made me realize that's definitely not the case for everyone. I mean, for some people, I love you is a big deal, like it's reserved for your wedding day. They treat it like fine china. You take it out occasionally and handle it with kid gloves. And then there are people, maybe you know a few, who almost never say it. And I'm guessing not because they don't feel it, but maybe because it doesn't come naturally. They might show it in other ways, doing things for people, being there when it counts, fixing your car, bringing you soup when you're sick. But the words, I love you, not so much. And I mean, really, that's okay, because love doesn't always come out in words, right? Some families are huggers. We're a hugger family. I'll admit, though, I hated being forced to hug every stinking relative as a kid. Some of them didn't just hug, they kissed. And, it gives me the willies just thinking about it. The hugging thing is a whole different animal. You're invading someone's personal space and expecting them to be okay with it. I'm sure we've all had that awkward moment when you go in for a hug and the huggy looks like they'd rather be eating worms or backs up 10 feet. It's kind of the same with I love you. Some people just aren't ready for it. You've got to rely on your spidey senses to know when to hug and when not to, and when I love you fits and when it doesn't. But still, it made me think, why do some of us say I love you so readily and others hesitate? Is it the way we were raised? Is it personality? Or maybe it's just how comfortable we are with expressing emotions. And of course, my brain started down the rabbit hole because, well, that's what it does. And I started wondering if saying I love you too often makes it lose its meaning. Like, if I say it every time I hang up the phone, does it lose its value and become no more impactful than saying goodbye? Man, I hope not. I'd like to think, if anything, it adds meaning. It keeps the feeling alive and real, because you never know when those words might be the last ones you get to say to someone. And no, I'm not trying to be morbid, just honest. A few years ago, I was talking on the phone with a very dear friend, and we got interrupted and had to hang up quickly. And the thought crossed my mind, oh man, I didn't say I love you. And she told me recently that her Alzheimer's was getting worse, but that day she sounded good, like her old self, and we were chatting about the trip she was taking to see her youngest grandkids, and I figured, no biggie, I'll talk to her when she gets back home. Yeah, I didn't get to. And, and ever since then, I've tried not to let an important conversation with someone I care about end without saying it. Even if it's quick, even if it's just a text with a heart emoji, because sometimes those little moments matter so much more than we realize. And having said that, I'm not out there telling everybody I love them. Trust me, the cashier at the grocery store doesn't need that kind of pressure. However, I will say, if they remind me to activate my $20 off coupon, I might be tempted. But I do think there's something beautiful about people who say, I love you freely. It doesn't have to mean I'm in love with you. Sometimes it just means you matter to me. I care about you. Or you make my life a little brighter. And I don't know about you, but I think the world could use a heck of a lot more of that right now. We've got enough sarcasm, snark, and arguments online. What we don't have enough of is kindness that doesn't expect anything in return. Full disclosure, I've even said, love you, bye, at the end of one of my videos. And after I did it, I thought, oh no, that's probably weird, even though it was kind of flippant. But then I thought, nope, that's me. And we know One Take Ruth isn't about to edit it out. Because I do mean it. Not in a mushy, sentimental way, but in that, hey, we're all just doing our best kind of way. And if someone takes a few minutes out of their day to listen to me ramble, laugh a little, maybe think a little, well, that's worth a little love in return. Don't you think? So, yeah, National I Love You Day might have come and gone, but I think every day could use a little more of that spirit. I mean, you don't have to post it on social media or buy a card. Hallmark doesn't need one more stinking penny from me. You can just tell someone, or show someone, or both. So to my family, I love you. And to my friends, I love you too. And to anyone watching this, whether I know you or not, thank you for spending a little part of your day with me. And if you're so inclined, drop me a comment and weigh in. Where do you sit on saying I love you, or hugging, or why the U.S. insists on daylight savings time? That just baffles me. But anyway, please like and subscribe. I'll love you to the moon and back. And as always, be kind to yourself and be kind to others. Love you, bye.